Good afternoon, everybody. Love Without Borders is here with Hofstra University nursing students. We've just had a wonderful week together, and we're excited to share a little bit about what we did and the students' experiences here in Athens, Greece. So, a little bit about Love Without Borders. We are a nonprofit registered in the United States as well as in Greece, and we are supporting the refugee community from the Middle East and Africa with housing, and we have an art gallery. So welcome everybody today. If I could just have everybody introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Christina, and I'm a senior nursing student from Hofstra University.
Hi, I'm Isabella, and I'm also a junior nursing student.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm also a junior nursing student.
Hi, my name is Natalie, and I am a senior nursing student.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tanika Smith, and I am an assistant professor in the undergraduate as well as the graduate nursing program at Hofstra University.
And we were connected several years back with Jen, who is one of the nursing faculty in Hofstra University and has previously worked with Love Without Borders. So we were really excited to introduce a new group to our community, and we had a very eventful week this week. We spent a lot of time in our art gallery in Kypseli, and we brought the children from the refugee camp in Shisko refugee camp, which is about half an hour away from the city. And for us, our big mission is to bring those children out of the camps. They're living in very poor conditions, and we want to bring them into a safe place where we can create music and art and share food together and time. And so we were just so happy to have all of you with us this week, and we want to share with our network a little bit about your experiences this week. So first of all, welcome to Greece, and once again, we're really happy that you were able to spend this week with us. Tell us a little bit about the time that you spent in Greece with Love Without Borders.
So definitely coming to Greece was eye-opening for me. I haven't really traveled outside of the country in a manner to volunteer in the way that we did. And to be honest, I didn't know what to truly expect. In nursing school, they always teach us that everyone goes through different traumas and things happen throughout life. And I knew in my head that that was something that I had to expect, but seeing it with my eyes just kind of made me connect more with everyone that I was meeting. At first, as one does when you go to Greece, you get to see all of the great things that are happening and the great things that the city offers, the historic pieces, and you see families walking down the street with their children. But when you go deeper into Greece, when you look above what's on the surface, it was just heartbreaking to see, I think. And it really was such a great experience to volunteer with Love Without Borders in Greece, because it was an opportunity to kind of give the kids a sense of normalcy back and let them relax. Because I feel like the kids that we met were really mature for their age, and I know when people say, oh, your kid's very mature, that's often something parents are like really happy to see, but I think a lot of people have to realize that people mature because they have to sometimes. And that was just hard, but I'm really thankful that I was able to come to Greece and see that different aspect, because we're from New York and we know like how New York is, as everyone here does. So it was great to see it from a different perspective and know that there are people doing the great things that you guys are doing.
What is one of the highlights that you experienced while you were in Greece?
Well, I really enjoyed the day where we were able to take the children out of the camp and we were playing soccer with them in the empty field. It really gave the kids a chance to take a break from the situations that they're going through. It was a time for us to bond with them, and I really enjoyed that. We were doing bracelet making on the side with one of the girls, and the girl that I was actually paired with when we were doing the paintings with the children, she was playing soccer, And I didn't want to pull her from that, so I decided to make a bracelet for her. And I spelled out her name. And when I put it on her, she realized that I remembered her name. And she ran straight to her mother. And she was just showing her mom like a normal kid would do. And honestly, in that moment, a lot of emotions were really brought up to me, like realizing how a silly little bracelet like that really like changed her day and made it better.
I think from the last 10 years and going to many refugee camps, I know exactly what to bring because it's not always about also objects or things, it's about presence. So when we can be in front of a person and offer just an ear to listen and some little gift like the bracelets, it's really, really important. I think a lot of times people have a misconception about coming over and volunteering. I feel presence is the most important thing that we can offer these people. And so for us to be able to bring those little bracelets, it made the world of a difference to the children. And we had a great day, so that was really nice. As a faculty, what are your first thoughts about when you come to Greece and your thoughts about what it was going to be like here in comparison to what you actually experienced?
Well, what I thought it was going to be like, because I've done mission trips before, when I saw the children come, I was happy to see that they at least were very happy and pleasant and smiling, because in some countries that you help out in, you don't see that level of joy that they experience. And I was most grateful to see when they engaged in the artwork. They seemed excited and playful. I love that I never witnessed. Seeing people express themselves and work through some of their trauma through artwork, art therapy. So I love that part of it. So typically when I do go into countries that I help out in, I would see some of the same things that I saw here, which is you may see your chronic diseases that show up that we're treating and assessing. So that's what we did as a trained family nurse practitioner. That's what we did here. What I enjoyed was having the students, seeing them do assessments and seeing them work and engage and see what was a priority and prioritizing the care that needed to happen. We saw quite a few families here and did those assessments here, so that was nice. The other thing that I really enjoyed that you don't see on most trips and I've never done was take a family shopping. That really was a highlight for us, where we gave back in that way from the university standpoint, to be able to support a family and give, in a meaningful way for them to buy food. That is very practical, and that will at least help them for even if a short period of time. I felt like we really made an impact, and the students were very engaged, and I think they enjoyed helping out, and seeing the children so happy to get groceries, which we would think is not so much of a big deal for us because that's our day-to-day, but we know that when you're in a refugee camp, it might not come as easy as it does for them. So I feel like I felt very happy that the students were engaged, and I was happy that they worked with the children and their families in that way.
So there's a number of things that we do at Love Without Borders when we have our student service programs. We go to the refugee camps. We can't go inside because the government doesn't allow us, but we do bring the children out and the families out. We also have a wonderful team of medical students and faculty, so we're able to bring the families that we're supporting and some of the families from the refugee camps to do medical assessments. Very, very important because it's very much lacking in the camps and generally in Athens. So, and then one of the highlights I think for many students is the art workshops. We brought about 13 children from the camps and another 3 from the housing communities that we're supporting. Many of these families, they don't have enough money to buy food. They don't have any medical support, and they even brought along their prescriptions, but they didn't have any money to buy them. So we were able to support them in a lot of different ways. But what we did is we brought the kids in, and the students were able to pair up one-to-one, student to child, and we just offer the tools. We don't have any influence on their art. We just let them paint, and it's a very authentic experience for them. It's really beautiful, and our program has not changed in the last 10 years. And so I will ask you, what was it like to be a part of that art workshop with all of the children? We had about 15 children, another 20 from your school, and some volunteers, so it was a very full, packed day.
So working with the children, I really enjoyed that day. Just specifically seeing them enter the gallery all quiet and like silent, not knowing what to do, where to go. And then just like kind of helping them spread out, sit down, take a paintbrush. And specifically the little boy that I worked with, just seeing at the beginning he was iffy. He couldn't like talk to me in his native language, so he wasn't sure how I would react, how he would react to me. And just doing little hand cues, like even a thumbs up or whatever, giving him a paintbrush in his hand, like seeing the smile appear on his face slowly and slowly. And then just like him not necessarily painting anything specific, but just mixing the colors on his canvas board, and his mom like telling him to like write your name out a little, or just like showing that he could write his name out by himself or draw a heart. Just seeing him open up, and then like seeing from my like reactions as I react to him painting, it just made me smile. And like you don't need words to see like the joy in his face. And then seeing all the kids open up and just starting all the chaos with the playing and everything, but they felt safe and they enjoyed like being around us. And then when they had to go, the little hugs and everything, it just showed me personally that even though we didn't talk much or do much, it made a difference on their day.
At the end of the workshop, we give each child 30 euros, and that is used for food 100%. And one of the little boys, he said to me, "Thank you so much." I told him what a beautiful artist he was. I told him that his art was going to America, and he got really excited. And I asked him, what are you going to use the money for? And he said, when I grow older, I want to use all the money to give to all the little children. And I thought that was really sweet. I think every time we have a workshop, we witness so many miracles and little stories that I have all in my heart, and they're really beautiful. I just feel like every time we're able to offer one of these workshops to the children, especially from the refugee camps, we are creating massive amounts of change. And this is why it's so important for students to come and spend time with us, because it's really fun and simple things that we're doing, but it's really creating some beautiful changes and for the families and the people that we're supporting. If you were to talk to other students, what would you give them as advice, or if they're thinking about coming to Greece to volunteer with Love Without Borders?
So what I would tell other students when they volunteer at Love Without Borders is to just keep an open mind, because not every child is going to think the same way. Every child has their own trauma or has their own experiences. So I would say to keep an open mind, and just showing them that you care is enough to put a smile on their face.
So what were some of the highlights that you were able to take in as far as Athens itself or Greece itself that were standing out for you?
Well, Greece in general is such a historical place. Between the trek to the Acropolis that we made, I truly enjoyed that. I love Greek mythology. It's something that I've always been super interested in. So to be able to experience that in real life was very exciting for me. I do travel out of the country, but not to Europe. I'm usually down towards the Caribbean. So this was a completely new experience for me.
So with some of the art that was created by the children, we have that packed up, and you're going to take it back to New York with you tomorrow. Are you excited to have the pop-up event in your community? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're really looking forward to having the event at our school. We're in the process of planning it with the art department at our school just so that we could get a lot more people to be involved. Also, our university has a space where we can kind of put these paintings and make it really look like an art gallery. So we're really looking forward to it. And being that you guys had the piano and we had an opportunity to play music for the children, we are going to try and incorporate music into it and make it an acoustic cafe, and just have some professors perform. I know that the chair of our program at the moment, he plays the guitar, and I've been speaking to him about it, and he is very interested in playing for us. And we are looking at having other student performers and then possibly some younger students playing as well. But I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited to actually try and buy some of the pieces once they're there. And I think a lot of us can say the same. I know the moment that we left that art gallery, I heard people saying, "Oh, her artwork was beautiful. I really want to buy that." They're all so talented from the young age that they are. And I know that you had amazing adult pieces as well. And we're just very excited to be able to help promote their artwork and spread the word about what you guys are doing, because it's very great.
Thank you so much. Is there a piece of art that you saw in the gallery that spoke to you? And if so, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, I saw a piece with a lady with beautiful green eyes, like almost emerald, and she had a cat that she had painted that had similar color eyes, and I felt like I could see somewhat the sadness in her eyes, but the joy in her cat. So I don't know what that juxtaposition was, but for me, it just showed the sorrow and the beauty all in one. The art was amazing, and I couldn't stop looking at that piece. But the amount of talent that the refugees have is amazing, and I think with the art show, we'll get a lot of people, especially the children as well, to want to purchase, which will hopefully give back to Love Without Borders in a very meaningful way.
Yeah, I completely agree. There was one painting that a child drew. He had drawn a map, and he had an X that marked the spot where he was from, and it was so interesting to me to see that the child had a chance to paint and to enjoy himself, and what he decided to draw was his journey, where he's from, coming to Athens.
So we've had our art gallery in Kipsele about 3 years, and this is 4 years, sorry, and this is we have about 100 students visiting us every year. Can you tell us a little bit about how your time was working in the gallery and anything that you would like to share?
So in general, just getting to see the gallery as a whole, just like planning the trip, we always spoke about the gallery, but I wouldn't necessarily envision it the way I saw when I was there. But just working with the children where they feel like safe and comfortable to express like anything that comes to their mind freely was really interesting for me, because usually if I think of drawing, I'll draw like a sun, a flower, and like that's it. But they don't get that opportunity, and just for them getting out of these camps and spending time with strangers, but they like develop such a close relationship to us that they become so comfortable and they don't care. Like even though it's such a language barrier, they just go ahead and they open up, and the smiles on their face at the end of the day just makes your day.
Yesterday, we were able to go to Shisco Camp, which is about 30-minute drive from Athens. This is one of our missions at Love Without Borders, is to go there as often as we can, take the people out, play soccer like we did yesterday. Can you explain a little bit about your experience yesterday, how it made you feel? We were actually across from the main entrance, so we didn't go inside, but there is a feeling when you're in the area and when you see how the people live. Can you explain a little bit about that, how that was for you, please?
Honestly, like just from looking at it from the outside, it was kind of depressing because you could see that everything is gated and like cut off from the public, and it makes them, it makes you think like, oh, they're isolated from everyone else. But at the end of the day, that's why I'm incredibly grateful for giving, letting the kids play and let them be kids, pretty much at the end of the day.
Absolutely, and I also think what was just not watching the kids with the students, the students from Hofstra also looked very young, and with the kids they were very playful, and they attached very much to the children. And so watching them jump rope or play soccer or do the bracelets with the children, they were very engaged and very excited. So I love that. But also, I had an opportunity to connect with one of the mothers who was pregnant, who wanted some medical advice about prenatal care and what she should do. She had concerns about one of her children may possibly having some complications in her pregnancy. And so we had a chance to talk about that and just allay some of her fears, because she is following up with some medical care in Athens. So I thought that was very great that I was able to communicate with her and have just a regular conversation and hear some of her thoughts, some of her dreams, some of her goals, see her baby, how happy and healthy he looked. It was just nice to have that moment with her and bonding. One of the other faculty members, who's actually the one who led this meeting, Dr. Jennifer Links, she introduced us, and I'm so happy that she did. This has been a very uplifting and amazing experience, and giving people a little bit of glimpse of hope. And what she did at the end inspired me. It actually brought me to tears. She hugged me so tightly and told me that I reminded her of her mother. And for me, that made all the world of difference, because she told me she loved me, and I said I loved her too. And you know what? That's great, because if she can feel my heart, that's how my heart felt, like love.
Yes, I think when we left yesterday, it was a really beautiful feeling, because we had spent a couple hours playing soccer, and when the kids, and making the bracelets, and when the kids left, they turned around, they were full on in bracelets and necklaces, and they had coloring books that they were going to go distribute to the other kids in the camp. And it's actually really beautiful what you can do with a couple hours and a lot of love. So we thank all of you for being here this week with us, and we're really looking forward to going back to your community and actually hearing your stories. Your parents get to hear your stories, your experiences, and share them with your other students in your university. A little bit about the medical part. We did have some medical assessments, and you can see that there's a massive lack of medical support here. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
So personally, when one of the families came up to get assessed, they had 3 little boys, and they just wanted to get assessed, checked out, make sure everything was fine. But something that moved me was when I asked the father when was his last doctor visit or screening, he told me he couldn't remember because it was a few years ago. I'm here expecting maybe a month ago or a year ago, and he said that he honestly doesn't remember because it was a few years ago. And just simple questions and just trying to get a borderline understanding what might be going on with him, and just understanding what are common diseases, health issues that everyone has as they age and everything. But not having access to healthcare definitely stands out in this community, and it shows how much disparity there is.
Also, to add on to Isabella, I just wanted to note too that yes, there's also the health disparities, but I also feel the lack of advocacy for these people is very high. we were assessing a family the other day, and one of the children had like a very large congenital deformity. And when the mother brought it up to the doctor they saw 8 months ago, they said, "Oh, they're fine, it's okay." And the more and more I talked to the families, the more and more I saw that they're telling them, they're making it to the office and they're telling them, but no one's there to really advocate for them and really say, this is what I need. And I'm grateful for the opportunity, because I think as nursing students, we know that education is one of like the most important things that you can do, and to be able to educate them and put it down in writing saying, this person needs to be checked for this, I think it'll help. But it was definitely very eye-opening to see how the medical system was here and just how dismissive they could be at times. Yeah.
We've had numerous cases from the refugee community where they were waiting up to 3 years for a knee operation. They were waiting 1 year for other operations, and we actually had to take on those on our own, from the beginning to the physical therapy. It's a huge responsibility for such a small organization here. We're trying to do one case at a time, but having medical students and faculty helping us is just really amazing, and it's very helpful to the community itself. So on that note, I just want to thank all of the faculty, all of the students for your time here. It's been so helpful. We're never going to forget all of you, and we're also looking forward to seeing you again in New York in the near future. And for all of the students that are thinking about coming to Greece to volunteer, we welcome you here, and we look forward to creating more love and support for our refugee community.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.